Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Money Mike, and today is my WrestleMania predictions. I will predict what might happen at WrestleMania 40, more and so what I would like to see happen or what I think might happen, but either way, predictions are fun to make, and let's see how many I get right and how many I get wrong. But before I get into that, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button today, as I will have more wrestling content every week here on this channel. So, starting off, and this is the assumed match order according to Dave Meltzer, so I'm just going to go down in the assumed match order. Night 1 will apparently start off with Rhea Ripley defending her Women's World Championship against Becky Lynch, who got this opportunity by winning at the Elimination Chamber. And I have to say, I think Rhea Ripley is going to retain the title. I think there's more matches to be done and more stories to be done, especially since I'll get into what I think might happen with the Judgment Day in a little bit. But I do think there's more to Rhea as the champion. Plus, they've been teasing Liv Morgan potentially getting involved. So, also, Becky doesn't really need the title. She's been doing side quests all last year. She went back to NXT. She won the NXT Women's title. And she doesn't really need the title here against Rhea. I think you can easily give that to somebody else down the line. But yeah, Rhea Ripley to retain over Becky Lynch. Next up, the 6-pack ladder match, which I think is the first time we have. I think this is the most tag team we've had in a ladder match ever. But a 6-pack ladder match to determine the new undisputed tag team. Wait, what? Michael Cole said what? Michael Cole said the rules of the match is that the. Wait, you're telling me the match will continue even if one tag team pulls down one titles? So if Miz and R-Truth pull down the Raw tag team titles, the match will continue. Is that what you're saying? Well, you just threw my predictions off. So, apparently, Michael Cole in commentary said that the match will continue until both titles have been pulled down from above the ring, which is a lazy way to split the titles, but also it's going to be a crazy ladder match that is going to have us saying "Holy bleep" the entire match, crazy spots, and for me, that means I'm going to pick two winners here in this match. So, Miz and R-Truth, I think, will win the Raw Tag Team titles. They were my original pick to win this match to begin with because I thought they would give R-Truth a WrestleMania moment. He would get his redemption on the Judgment Day. But apparently, since they're going to apparently be splitting the titles, I'm going to go ahead and give A-Town Down, Austin Theory, and Grayson Waller, they're going to be the ones to walk out with the SmackDown Tag Team title. So Judgment Day is going to leave empty-handed. I'm sorry, Finn and Damien, but don't worry, Damien. You still got that Money in the Bank contract if you ever want to use it. And that'll be a different video coming up Saturday, probably. Next up, more Judgment Day. We talk about this being about the bloodline. WrestleMania Saturday is all about the Judgment Day. The first three matches involve the Judgment Day. Well, JD he's on SmackDown, but Dirty Dominic Mysterio teams with Santos Escobar against his father Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee in a tag team match. this should be an exciting match. The history with all four men in this match should make for great storytelling. We know Dom lost to Ray last year, and he hasn't really got his redemption against his father, and I think he gets it here. I think Dom and Escobar will win. I don't know if they're going to do Dom pinning Ray yet. I think they're going to save that for one final singles match, which would be Ray's retirement match. But Dominic and Escobar do win. But I will say this, I said this before about Rhea Ripley. It's going to be interesting to see the Judgment Day after WrestleMania because we saw this past Monday Dominic was inviting unwanted guests into the clubhouse. Now, see, this is why you should have kept R-Truth around. You have Escobar and Andrade kind of being invited into the clubhouse, and Rhea Ripley was not happy about that. Damian was not happy about that. So, is Dominic going to have his own faction? Is he going to turn on the Judgment Day? Are we going to see a face turn for Finn Balor and Damian Priest? I'm just saying, it would be very interesting to see Dominic kind of take over the LWO and lead his own faction. And he has the heat to do it. So if WWE wanted to have Dominic lead his own faction, this would be the perfect time to do it. And speaking of relatives that don't like each other, main event Jey Uso against Jimmy Uso. Jey Uso called this a dream match to face his brother at WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure this is not how he expected things to go. And the build for this match, I mean, honestly, I think because they had Jimmy turn on Jey way back in August. And basically, it was just kind of like, yeah, I did it because I didn't want you to be like Roman. And then it was kind of like, well, that was a lame excuse. And then we kind of got it where we finally got something that was actually worth it, where Jimmy said, hey, I don't want you to have success without me. Like, he was jealous of the fact that Jey Uso, won the tag titles with Cody Rhodes. He had an Intercontinental title match against Gunther, and then Jimmy Uso cost him the match. So yeah, jealous Jimmy now gets to take out all that jealousy out on his brother. And there's been two other brother versus brother matches in the history of WrestleMania. Bret versus Owen at WrestleMania 10, and Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy at WrestleMania 25. In both instances, the heel came out the winner. Owen beat Bret, and Matt beat Jeff. And I think because you need to play into what will happen on Sunday night, I'm going Jimmy Uso beating Jey Uso, and there's going to be extra motivation for Jey to get involved, potentially in the tag team match, or well, most definitely the main event in Cody versus Roman. Next up, we have a 6-woman tag as Jade Cargill will make her WWE debut. It's been long awaited. I mean, people have been wondering, when she was going to make her debut, and Triple H said, when the time is right, she will make her debut, and she is going to make her debut on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. She will team with Naomi and Bianca Belair against Damage Control, Asuka, Kairi, and Dakota Kai. Now, it is interesting to note that Bayley and Io is taking place on Sunday, while this is happening on Saturday. So whatever happens in this match might tumble over into Bayley versus Io on Sunday. Now, obviously, this one's pretty easy. Jade is not going to lose her debut match at WrestleMania. And so Jade, Bianca, Naomi are going to win. Next up, you have Sami Zayn, who people did not want to see in this match. They wanted to see Chad Gable, but WWE, they've kept Chad Gable a part of this whole storyline. We saw on Monday the training montages that Gable and Sammy were training. Gable was getting them ready to face Gunther, and then we saw during the match that Sammy had with Bronson Reed, Gunther attacked Chad Gable, and that distracted Sami Zayn, and he left them both laid out on Raw. So clearly, Chad Gable is still going to fit into the plan for the Intercontinental Championship down the line, but Sami Zayn is not winning. I expect this to be a great match, but Gunther is going to retain and keep his longest reigning Intercontinental Championship streak going. And then, of course, you got the main event. WrestleMania 1 the first ever main event, was a tag team match, playa, as it was Hulk Hogan, Mr. T against the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper, and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Well, 40 years later, Triple H is paying homage to that with a tag team match to close out night 1 of WrestleMania. It will be the final boss, The Rock, Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, teaming up for the first time ever against Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. And there's going to, first things first, The Rock is not coming back to lose. Second of all, you need The Rock and Roman to win because you need the overbooked, chaotic mess that everybody wants Rock, Cody, and Roman to be on Sunday night. So, I think, with Jimmy already beating Jay earlier in the night, I think we're going to see a surprise debut. I think the bloodline is going to grow. I think we're going to see potentially Jacob Fatu make his debut here. I'm losing my voice as I'm talking here. But Jacob Fatu potentially making his debut in this match. I mean, he might do it on Sunday and cost Seth the title, because then that would give Seth a reason to get involved even more, extra motivation, to get involved in the main event, because The Rock has been saying to Seth Rollins, hey, I will make that title disappear. So, will The Rock make the title disappear? But I think Jacob Fatu is going to show up. I think he's going to debut. I was thinking maybe the Raw after Mania, but they might maybe save that for Tama Tonga. But I think Jacob Fatu is going to help Rock and Roman win. You got to keep stacking the odds. You got to keep stacking the odds. And, how can Cody Rhodes overcome the odds? You got to keep that building up all into Sunday. So Rock and Roman are going to win. I think Roman probably Rock pins Rollins here, because I think they're going to do Rock and Cody at SummerSlam. But that's a whole other video. So let's move into night 2. We're going to kick things off with another championship match. Seth Rollins, if Monday night is anything what Saturday night will be, what condition will he be in to kick off and open the show on Sunday, as Seth Rollins will defend his World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk is going to be on commentary. I wish he was a special guest referee, but I digest. So I think, to me, Drew McIntyre wins. Whether it's going to be clean, he does it cleanly, he hits him with a Claymore, 1, 2, 3. Or what I think, there's going to be bloodline interference. but we'll see. Drew McIntyre is going to win, and I think that's going to kind of set up maybe a little interaction between Drew and Punk after the match. We might see Punk get involved in the match. He might accidentally cost Seth Rollins. Who knows how they're going to use Punk in the match. But I'm guessing we're going to get a triple threat match at SummerSlam. If Punk is healed by then. Next up, we're in Philadelphia, so why not have a match that's dedicated to ECW, a Philadelphia street fight, and I wish this was given to AJ Styles and LA Knight. Yeah, but we have Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits against Karrion Kross and AOP. And quite frankly, I'll be honest, I don't really care for the feud. I don't care for it. I would much rather the Street Profits have been in the tag team ladder match, but I'm not the booker. So I'm just going to pick Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits to win here. And then if my prediction comes true of A-Town Down winning the SmackDown tag titles, then you can have the Street Profits go into a feud with them for the tag team titles. Next up, the match that should have gotten some kind of stipulation: AJ Styles against LA Knight. Yeah, as they brought in AJ Styles' front yard. Things have gotten personal between the two. AJ Styles flew all the way around the world to Australia to cost LA Knight the World Heavyweight Championship opportunity. And I think LA Knight is going to get his redemption here. He's going to beat AJ Styles. And I think LA Knight is going to be moved into the U.S. title picture after WrestleMania. And speaking of the U.S. title, next up, Logan Paul defends against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a triple threat match. And Logan Paul is a slimy enough of a heel to take advantage of two guys who will fight over who will pin the champion. So Logan Paul, I think, is going to retain here, even though I could see them giving the title to Randy Orton. But I think they're going to keep the title on Logan for a little bit longer because I think they want LA Knight to be the one to take the title off of him. And then the match that I'm personally looking forward to, I feel like it's been underrated in terms of the build, because I think so many people are overlooking it because of what happened when they did they started everything. So the night that Bayley revealed that she can speak Japanese and she knew all along that Damage Control was talking about her behind her back. That night was the night when Cody Rhodes just randomly gave up his title shot to Roman Reigns to The Rock, and it was assumed that we were getting Rock and Roman. Of course, everything pivoted, and whether WWE pivoted because of the fans, whatever. But because that happened on the same show that Bayley turned on Damage Control, it wasn't the other way around. We even got a little bit of Evolution, throwback to Evolution, where Batista was outside the door and he overheard Triple H and Ric Flair talking about him, and then he chose Triple H as a champion to face at WrestleMania. Well, we saw the same thing here, where Bayley kind of realized that Damage Control was not her friends. So now she looks to get redemption on Io Sky. As I said, the 6-woman tag on Saturday might play a role into all this, and there's so much going on around it. I like what they're doing with Bianca, where Bianca's like, yeah, I don't feel sorry for you, Bayley. Like, you've made my life a living hell with Damage Control. Why am I going to feel sorry that they're attacking you? Bianca's in her little Drew McIntyre arc, but I hate to say it, but it has to happen because it has to happen because of the main event. Because this is before the main event, you have to send the crowd home happy. Io Sky is going to retain the title here. I would love to see Bayley win, but to me, I feel like if you're going to have Bayley win the title and beat Io Sky, it's more fitting to do it at SummerSlam, where that was the debut of Damage Control. I was there in Nashville with my friends at SummerSlam 2022 when Damage Control made their debut. Bayley returned after Bianca had beaten Becky Lynch, and then Bayley came out, and then it was I think it was Dakota first, then it was Io, or I can't remember which way it was, but it was just like what was happening, and nobody really knew, and then you know they've been around since then. But yeah, that was their debut at SummerSlam 2022. So maybe 2 years later, Bayley looks to, I guess, quote unquote, I know it's at this point, everybody's tired of hearing the phrase, but finish the story, and she gets rid of Damage Control at SummerSlam in Cleveland in August. And since Bayley lost the title, lost the match to Io, and she didn't win the title, that means the fans are going to be mad, they're going to be upset. And what do to send the crowd home happy? You let Cody Rhodes finish his damn story. And not only do you let him finish his damn story, but you overbooked this whole mess. You get The Rock involved, you got Jimmy Uso, Jay Uso, who else am I missing? The Rock. Uh, if you want to have a holographic Dusty Rhodes that gives a bionic elbow to Roman Reigns that turns into a three crossroads on the Cody by Cody. You know, we've seen, a couple weeks ago when The Rock bloodied Cody Rhodes in the rainy parking lot of Chicago, and they were in a part of the parking lot where the production trucks were, and they were perfectly timed. Don't I that was a Easter egg hint, by the way. They were hinting at what's going to happen, but John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, they're probably going to get involved. They teased it. The Rock, Cody Rhodes brawling where that production truck was that just happened to be where the camera was perfectly positioned to show Cena and Austin. That's not a coincidence, and we know The Rock has history with both of them. So, in this case, I fully expect everything to be a chaotic mess. It's going to be bloodline rules because of the stipulation in the tag team match, and I don't know when, but at some point during the match, if it's gonna feel like all hope is lost, Cody's gonna lose. Jacob Fatu is now in the bloodline, and they're growing members out of the blood. They're plucking members out of the bloodline family tree to help Roman Reigns, and maybe we get Tama Tonga. Who knows? But then we get John Cena coming out because his last match was against Solo. So he comes out, takes care of Solo. We know Jay and Jimmy are there for it. They're going to fight. And then The Rock, the final boss, and Roman Reigns are going to have Cody beaten down. All hope is lost. And then we hear that familiar glass shatter. The Rock freaks out. Austin comes down, takes care of The Rock. Ring clears. It's bound to Cody and Roman. And Cody hits three crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes wins the undisputed Universal Championship, or the WWE Championship, whatever they're calling it. But Cody Rhodes finally does it. It's going to be a chaotic mess. an overbooked mess, but you know what? We're all going to look back at it saying that Cody Rhodes losing at WrestleMania 39 was worth the wait and what we got at WrestleMania 40. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Who will win? Who will lose at WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday? And I will be back here tomorrow, hopefully, because I've had videos planned all week, but my computer is old and slow, so I haven't been able to do videos every day like I planned. But tomorrow I will be here for a 10-year retrospective looking back at WrestleMania 30. And boy, I was rewatching WrestleMania 30 for this video for tomorrow, and boy, a lot has changed. And take it from somebody who was there in the Superdome that night 10 years ago at WrestleMania 30. I still have not forgotten that feeling of that stadium, how that stadium was when the referee's hand hit 3 and Brock Lesnar broke the streak. But I will have more on that tomorrow. Let me know your predictions for WrestleMania 40, and I will be back here tomorrow. I will be talking WrestleMania 30.